you know we waiting for it. Hey yo Lee, you know we waiting for you. Yo AJ, you know we waiting for you. I said what? You know.
Damn, surprise.
I'm not turn red, so then I'm either white or red, so that's it. But I look at it like, yo, if I'm getting booked to play at an all-black club, that for me, that's like an accomplishment. Why would somebody pay me that much money to play their club if they didn't believe in me?
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta be able to relate to that crowd. Not only do I get booked in, I could do an all-black party, I get booked at straight Latin parties where there's no white people, no black people, there's just straight Latin people in there.
And you spinning.
And I play maybe 1 hour of hip hop music, the rest of the 4 hours are just Spanish music. So, and then I could go to Vegas and play a straight white party and then go play a mixed party. So it's like, I can play at any.
No, I got a question.
Anywhere.
What is the white party called? Like what music jump? Like what do they play? You say you play hip hop.
No, the great thing is,
what do they
people
play?
don't realize, a lot of times you can play a lot of the same music at different parties. So there's a couple, maybe you gotta play a little extra pop music at the white party, and then a little more,
I call it rave music.
Like fist pump stuff.
Yeah, but it's like
nah.
What's EDM?
EDM. Yeah, like I'll sneak in a couple, but I still want to be myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If 50 Cent goes to any show, he's still performing his records. It don't matter what the crowd is. So I'm gonna play the way I play no matter where I go. But I'm able to connect at all these parties, just doing my metrics, my numbers. Like, okay, I get booked here. That means I can do it. Not everyone is getting booked. Some people just in one lane.
So you just said you said all that to say that you're really good. Like you just.
So
he's really good. He could do everything. Basically, what you said, you could do everything.
The people chose me. You know what I'm saying?
So you can do everything.
I never asked to do the party. They hit me. So
he's good at everything, guys.
Go ahead, bro.
So, being that you've been doing this for like 15, 16 years, do you feel that your ear has gotten better at picking different sounds, or like do you feel like the music that you listen to is a product of what you've been doing for the past 15, 16 years?
No, I definitely like just how I can adapt to parties and events. I can adapt to new music. So, and then I also I keep young energy around me too.
Right.
So I don't want to be that person that's not in tune,
right,
but trying to be in tune. Like I really want to be in tune. So I can go DJ for little TJ, right, who's 20 years old, and he's excited for me to be his DJ. I'm still excited to be his, you know what I'm saying? Like sharing that same excitement, because I know what's happening out here just from being outside. So I'll definitely keep up to what's going on. I don't get stuck in like, oh, this is the type of music I like personally. This is all I'm gonna play. Like, nah, my job is to cater to that audience, whether it's a young audience or older audience. I can do that too. It don't even have to be, the type of party. It could just be the age. And I could go do a teen concert and then go do an adult concert.
So like now more than ever, like it's more crucial to have an open ear, basically.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Because then you start getting like pigeon-toed into a certain type of
They don't want to do that. Like it's not fun.
Right.
The minute you start closing off one ear to a certain sound, it's over.
And I look at it as like my career, so I have to grow, I have to learn, I have to keep practicing. Like I don't feel like I've reached my potential. I got a lot more work to put in myself. So it's like I don't get comfortable. So it's like I want to continue working and learning and just doing more. Because it's so much. It's never gonna end. It's gonna keep going.
Yeah, you can do this for
What's a goal that you have set for yourself that you want to accomplish?
I like to set like
short-term.
short-term. I don't even set like long-term goals, because like I've seen people not even make it to their short-term goal because they're so focused on that big. So it's like small things. So right now, what I'm actually working on are my goals. So like I'm working on developing this TV show. It's looking good. It's like the people I can't even speak on it, but I got like legendary people behind it.
What is it about? About just music? Can you what can
it's
you get?
Sort of like what I do now is just kind of putting it on TV, following one artist. But the cloth he's cut from is a different type of cloth. Like it's some rock star shit. So it's like, but he's doing hip hop. So that's looking good, and also like taking the movement brand and creating sort of like a record label out of it, so that if we do run across something that's good or an artist that has potential, we can now kind of help
cultivate
that
it
artist,
in-house.
and keep it in-house and brand it. So those are two major things like right now, and of course, building on Movement Mondays, and we just did a big concert in New York. I want to do that like
I saw that.
yeah, like either yearly or every year, like twice a year, something like that.
Next time you do the concert, can I like get
You want some
backstage?
tickets?
No, I
you wanna be backstage?
don't want to just be in the joint. I want to be.
Yeah, but when you backstage, you can't really see the show.
I don't want to see the show.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to be backstage.
I
I'm
just
gonna be in the front watching the show.
I want to be in the. I want to be in the mix. I want to network.
Nah, we did the show and everybody was backstage, and all that did was cause everyone to get on stage,
Right.
which I hate. But I'm like, you know what? This is New York. This is hip hop.
It
We had
was
like
crazy. It looked
60,
crazy.
70 people on stage while artists
It
was
looked-
performing.
yeah, it
It was a
looked
great turnout, and it was to that like young. You know what I'm saying? It was little kids in there, like 11 years old, with their parents. So to
That's
be able
That's
to
dope.
cater to that range,
Mhm.
I felt like I just was excited. I didn't know what to think.
You did a
At the
good
same
job.
time, yeah, like my pop just passed away, but we
Oh,
still made it
sorry
happen.
about that, bro.
Nah, but it was like to be in the middle of that, like he would have been like, yo, do the show, right? So we do the show, and it turns out to be a success. You're like, damn, like
Right,
it's
absolutely.
crazy, you know what I'm saying? So
Right. High
I'm
turn
still
down.
coming off that high because that was insane. Like to be
Yeah.
able to sell out a show in New York with no big artists. There was no like A-list artist on it. None of the artists got their records in radio rotation. So it's like to still be able to sell out a show shows like if we all work together, it's possible to create something successful. So that was ill.
Speaking of shows, being at the one that just passed, being from Jersey and you're like ear to the music, the show where I'll Be Out had the whole Jersey. Like, how dope do you think that was for culture?
No, that's great. Like I love when artists do shows like that, especially an artist doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a promoter. It's him doing it and his team picking the people they want to do it with. And
That's some good talent on that stage, man.
yeah, of course. And just that everyone working together is to me a beautiful thing because for a minute everyone's kind of competing with each other and hating on one another. So to be able to get everyone in the room, it's like great. Like you know what I'm saying? Especially for music alone, to
Right.
have to see that like to bring everyone
Yeah,
out.
'cause for it to be for Jersey is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right? Like,
just to be for Jersey artists, and I'm sure the artists that don't get on the stage are motivated, like, nah, fuck that, I'm getting on the next one. So it
Yeah.
motivates you to work harder. It gives artists something to like work for.
It's strive for.
Yeah, not just, because you, at that point, it's like, oh, Albie's doing a concert, Fetty's on it, this person's on it. You don't even, it's not about money, because nobody wanted to get paid, they just want to be on the show.
Right.
So that tells me, like, that's more important to me, like, to see an artist that really cares about building their brand as an artist, and then don't have to be about the money.
Absolutely.
So, that's ill.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
How do you feel about like the way the festivals have grown in the past 6-7 years? Like from just like maybe 1 or 2 a year to like maybe now 50, 60. Like how do you feel like that growth is shaped like
As long as the festivals are like, a lot of them are crazy.
Yeah.
So, the festivals were cool, but now that they're including hip hop artists,
Right.
Because the genre's so big. Because before, they used to do all the festivals and it'd just be EDM artists or like
EDM's
that.
crazy. It's
But
super big.
because the genre of hip hop is so big, now the hip hop artists are headlining the festivals. Which, that's incredible. That helps everything we're doing, everything we work for to have the most popular genre. We're gonna get more opportunities just because of that.
So I have maybe last question, but you talked about having your own label, right? So you looking to have your own artist, but I was thinking maybe you could do something more of like a Jersey type of, because I mean it's enough talent here,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, are you trying to get your DJ Khaled on? What type deal, like, or what is that? What is your record label like? What does that look like? Like, what does that success look like for your record label as well?
It could be me putting records out, you know what I'm saying, like with artists, like Drewski featuring these artists, or just finding artists and putting their music out, you know what I'm saying, you getting their music, out through the Movement label. So it's not one specific thing. It's like, oh, I'm not trying to work on an album and just but we can come up with ideas. Like if there's an artist that makes good music, that got a good buzz, that respects the grind, that's not looking to like just get a bag, and that's it. Like if that's a real artist and he needs support, at least now if I'm signed to a major label, I could help that situation. So it's just, yeah, it's nothing. It's like whatever comes across that works. If it works, and if it happens to be a Jersey artist who definitely will have priority. I'm in Jersey. I live in Jersey. The studio's in Jersey. If you don't come to Movement Mondays, or if you don't hit me or send me your music, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it doesn't come to me, that's not my fault.
No,
Like,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta work. Like, but that goes back to like a lot of times artists got egos where they're like, man, nah, I'm gonna get lit, and then he's gonna hear my shit, then he's gonna play my shit. Yeah. That's fine too. Hopefully that happens. Right. However it happens, we wish you the best of luck. But sometimes you gotta keep, being consistent and putting it in people's faces and reminding people, because you're one artist that coming to me. You're not thinking of the other like 60 per day that send me music or that run down on me. I could be anywhere now, anywhere. Like I could be with my family in the Walmart and people are running down, and I still respect it because a lot of times they'll have flash drives on them. So I'm like, cool. Like I respect that you actually walk around with your music. You're serious about your shit. So it's like, yeah, like I got so many artists hitting me that one, your music has to be good, and two, just being consistent will get me. And if I can't help you, I'ma still try to find someone that can help you, and maybe it doesn't work. A lot of times I get artists that come that make great like boom bap hip hop records, and I'm like, that's really not my thing. I don't really play that on my show, but let me send it to Rosenberg, who has a show that's catered to that. You know what I'm saying? It's not so wherever I can help, I'ma help, whether you my artist or not. It's not like, oh, you gotta be signed to the movement. Nah, like
we solid, bro. You definitely solid, man. Y'all got more questions, man?
Any more questions? Any more questions?
I got a few.
Got a few questions?
Yeah, I do.
We got some time. Go ahead.
Like I said, like as far as like the festivals, like now, like do you see like Jersey becoming like a hotbed for like festivals like here and there, like in different parts of the state, where we could like just grow and like a whole unified front?
Yeah, I've tried it before. I've seen other people put festivals together. Yeah. The hard part with Jersey that we've been facing for a while is we're so close to New York City.
Right.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Like when you're that close to a big city like New York, you have to expect, people to focus more on New York, but don't get bitter or upset about it. Like
keep working.
Use it. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how to use it. The light is right there. All you gotta do is get to shift a little. Instead of looking bitter. Nobody wants to deal with like a bitter artist, just bitter people in general. Like always complaining about like, what do you care about what's happening in New York? Or just continue working hard, putting out good music, and take advantage if somebody's doing something. If you guys have a podcast or a show, like if you're an artist, come up on it, be on the show. Like what, you know what I'm saying? Support one another. It's only gonna grow because if we all talking about it and all, it brings it back home.
Rising tide raises all ships. I keep saying.
Right. So it's that mentality, but you should be lucky we next to New York City. There's so many opportunities to take. You know what I'm saying? Don't complain about it, be bitter about it. I think we just gotta continue supporting one another instead of trying to hold each other down. Like it never made sense to me.
It don't make sense to me now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that like New Jersey should have like a quote unquote sound to like separate ourselves from different regions?
Nah, we of course we got Jersey club music, right? Which I feel is special in itself. Like,
absolutely.
I talked to Little Man, I talked to 93rd, a lot of these like club DJs.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you just gotta get that mainstream.
Yeah.
And it's gonna go. Like, not even on no Jersey. It don't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Just, you have so many kids that follow that genre of music, that know these dances. Like, it's impactful, right?
It is.
So if it all comes down to money. So if a label or any company sees potential that they can make money off of whatever's going on,
that investment part, right?
They'll invest in it.
Yeah.
If I had money, like crazy money, I would invest in it. I see the potential of it, right? So it's just now getting that exposure. But I don't think there should be one Jersey sound, especially in today's market, like in today's world. There's artists that sound like they from the South that are from Jersey.
Right.
But if it works, it works. Like,
I mean, yeah, it works. I just
you feel like it should be one sound?
not necessarily. I just always had that question because people, like from what I've seen, that growing up, people always want a certain sound to come from this area. Like even though we're from here, they don't want us to sound like New York or from Philly or anything like that. But it's like if you go to these places, we're like 20 minutes away from New York City. If you go to South Jersey, we're 20 minutes away from Philly. So it's like how do you want us to sound?
Right. And on top of that, anyone that's like 20 years and younger, they don't give a fuck about no one sound. They don't even want you to sound like New York, the New York we talking about. You know, the bars and they don't like the young kids, they don't care. And unfortunately, back to the bag, they're the ones that matter.
That's
so,
fact. Yeah,
you know what I'm
they
saying?
spend the money, they watch it, they buy the merch,
they buying tickets, shows. So it's like
getting your views up, they following you, everything that you need. It's the young kids, man. And so you gotta cater to them.
So it's like, and they don't care about one sound.
That's
so
true.
It's like, I understand it. Do I like everything that's out now? No, of course not. But I'm sure when we was young, like our older cousins or brothers, they probably ain't like the stuff we like. You
That's
know
true.
What I'm saying?
That's very true.
They hate on it now to this day.
Right.
You know what I'm
So it's
saying?
like, I get it, but it's, you know, it's always going to be what the people want. And the young kids, you can play them the hottest records we listen to and they think it's trash.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that happen. Like,
all the time.
it's like mind-boggling. I'm like, really? Like, you don't like this? This is
They don't.
Like,
It's
this
crazy.
top-notch lyricism. Like,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
They think Trippie Redd is the hottest
No,
artist.
they do though.
Then be quiet,
He's
man.
dope though. He's cool.
No, I'm saying something worked because he's
exactly.
successful. So it's
Right.
like,
The kids love him, man.
right. So for them,
I
it's a
haven't listened to
different
one Trippie Redd song ever. Not one.
Exactly,
I don't know now
It's
one
like
song.
five of them out of bed.
We just,
I got you though. Don't worry.
We just had the same discussion on the live podcast. Like for this generation, who knows? Like Lil Baby may be their thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, true.
Like
Nah,
that's
that's
all
kids.
they hear is like baby. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
wham, a baby. Like 20 years from now, those kids are gonna be hyped like, oh, this my joint. Remember, wham, a baby, and somebody's gonna be looking like, what?
It's true.
That makes no sense.
I've played records in the club and people will react like, or I've been around artists and people react like how we would feel towards like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
They feel like that towards Lil Baby. Like,
That's true.
I mean,
Jada, man.
there's actually
Even
nothing wrong with that. Like,
when I interview
No, there's nothing
artists,
wrong.
I can interview an artist and I say like I asked Lil TJ, who are some of the artists you look up to? There's nothing that you would expect. Like A Boogie, like you look up to A Boogie. That's what they. Who
Hey,
they look
Boogie
up
the
to.
man, bro. I don't know.
Right,
Hey,
but
Boogie, my guy. I'm gonna
Right.
tell you right now.
But for,
my guy.
but you would think he's still young, he's still new, he's only been in the game for so long. But there's other artists that look up to A Boogie. He's not saying I look up to Jay-Z. He's saying I look up to A Boogie.
Right.
So it's like it's a whole different generation that you just gotta learn to respect it.
I do respect it.
Yeah.
Very much so. I got a personal question though. How do you feel about? Oh, well, not how do you feel, but what are you most looking forward to this year as far as music? Like what albums or certain artists that you're aware of that are dropping that you think will like make this year better than last year?
Trying to think, like me personally, I like J. Cole, you know, artists like that. So like I could actually sit there and listen to. So like Cole
J.
dropped the
Cole.
album.
Yeah.
Who else? It depends what kind of mood I'm in. Cause like when I'm in a club, I'm definitely not listening to J. Cole.
Yeah.
I'm trying
He
to
don't
turn
make
up,
club
like-
music, period.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I
definitely
just get and listen to so much music. You got to think every day I'm doing a mix, right? So it's
Right.
like I keep hearing the same music over and over. Anything that's new, I'm getting it before people. So it's like hard for me to
Right.
get excited for it. Like I don't really get excited. I'm just looking like,
So like the fan in you isn't really as
yeah, like there's
loud
really
as it used to be.
nothing. I'm trying to think what. It's not like one album or one artist. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till they drop something. It's because I'm listening to new music every day. Like I got a new @2 mix that I do every night. Like right after this, I'm going right in there to record a new @2 mix. So it's like I get so much new music from
You're like inundated with it.
big artists, and then my show on Sundays, the New Movement, is all new music from local new artists. So it's like it's hard to like I just listen to R&B when I'm in the car, like if I'm
Really?
driving.
I wouldn't
I
have
want
thought
to.
that.
Kind of mellow out.
Yeah, to
That's
like
dope.
get
I
off
thought that.
listening to straight hip hop all day.
Yeah.
That's my life. It's like surrounded. Bro, I wake up. As soon as I wake up, first thing I reach for is the phone and I swipe, and it's just records, like new records. Like, so it's just, and my job is to not let it bore me, but keep that excitement.
Yeah.
Got you.
So
that's
I know the feeling. Because like, there's certain artists that I want to hear drop, but I'm still aware of like there's so much music out, but I gotta keep that excitement somehow. So it's like,
are you waiting on something to drop? Or?
Yes, I am.
Who?
Kendrick.
New
I just got a
Kendrick.
feeling it's gonna happen because like it's 2 years, so it's like I've been watching.
Right.
So it's like I got a feeling it's gonna.
I see him in the studio with.
Me too.
Like work.
I just need the Heart Part 5 to come out and I'm good. Like I know once that drops.
He's a Kendrick stan, man. Between
Yeah.
Kendrick and Drake, man, it's
What's the
Oh,
problem?
Drake, I'm a Drake fan too.
nah. We got man. I think everybody a Drake.
I think
fan.
Drake-
At some point, we love a song
Right.
Bodies of
or
Work.
five
Bodies of Work.
from Drake. You know what I'm saying?
For me, Drake in our era is one of the greatest artists.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
go ahead and say that. Like,
It's a fact though.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like a
he's
game.
one of the.
Nah, he's. I mean,
To me,
Under-
like, that's my opinion.
you can't
when we were talking about the top 5 earlier, he would be in my top 5.
I wouldn't be mad. And nobody would probably be mad at you for that. Nobody, because he is that
Drake
great.
he's special.
He is though. Like the way aside from like just like the stardom of it all, just like the way he even makes like or constructs music is different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people don't really understand that part. Like they just like to put a certain cadence in a song at that point at that time to make people go crazy over it. Like that's a
I
talent
have
in itself.
a good Drake story, which is part of why I support like new artists.
I'm ready for this Drake story.
Right, so we in Toronto.
Hearing it first.
We in Toronto. It's Chris Bosh's birthday, I believe. He played for the Raptors at the time. I'm with Syph. I think Syph was DJing his birthday party. It's like me, Cypher, a Cardinal official who's like OG
I
out
heard that
there.
name before.
Right, so me, Cardi, Syph, and there's another dude. We at like a diner eating after the party, whatever. So we're leaving like the next morning. So the kid is like, yo, you know, can you give Cypher my CD? But throughout the day, I seen people taking pictures with it, like a couple people in the restaurant take pictures. So I asked Cypher, like, yo, who is this? Like, who was this? He's like, oh, he's on a TV show out here. I'm like, okay, cool. But he told me he signed to like Lil Wayne at the time, right? So I'm like, well, he said give you this mixtape. So we looking at it, laughing at the cover. He had his P coat on.
I'll come back season.
Like, I don't even know if we played the mixtape. Literally like a year later, fucking Best I Ever Have drops, and Drake just starts blowing up. I'm like, that was fucking Drake.
Wow.
asking me to, like, he's smart. I already know he's smart because he's like, I'm not gonna give it to Syph because Syph is the big homie. I'm gonna give it to the little homie who could get it to Syph for me. Yeah. And I did. I gave it to him, but like, Syph at that point, he's same thing I said. We get music so much every day. He's like, okay, cool, yeah. And I don't even remember us listening to it because we drove like 7 hours back home.
Wow.
And like a year later, Best I Ever Have.
So
drops.
you missed out on Drake, bro?
I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity, but Syph is still like cool with them. They still good, but
Wow.
I seen that. I'm like, that's not gonna be me. Hopefully, if you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
if Syph had the opportunity to work with Drake and passed up on it just because, you know, with everything that was going on in his life at the time, a lot going on, music and shows and this and that, I'm like, I'm not gonna be that person. So let me like open the door for artists to come,
Right.
give me stuff, like, so word.
I appreciate
That's
you.
how it happens. Yeah.
All right, so listen, man. Another episode, Blazing Bars Rap. Drewski, I appreciate you.
Of course, thank you.
You know what I'm saying, for coming. Blazing Bars, Drewski, you can take us out, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Blazing Bars, giving DJs, artists, and just entrepreneurs a platform to come up here and talk about what they do. And of course, make sure you support them and support the whole movement. Every other Monday, Movement Mondays. Follow the gram @SoDrewski and tune into Hot 97. Because I'm top 5 on Hot 97 now.
You heard? We out, baby. All right, appreciate you, boy.